My parents took me to church before I even grasped the concept of being alive. So I've heard plenty of sermons in my lifetime, and the truth is, not all sermons are pleasant to listen to. Not all sermons talk about God's blessings on and on. Some sermons are quite rebukeful, as in they point out the flaws that you may have and persuade you to stop having those flaws, essentially. These sermons are not always nice to hear because, well, it points out flaws in you, and that's not always nice. But in recent times, I've come to learn that such sermons are very much necessary. Now, whenever I hear these kinds of sermons, I feel grateful. And let me explain how I came to that. But before I explain, I just want to say, please like and subscribe. It's really helpful. You can always unsubscribe if you want to in the future. But anyways, let me continue with my story. Growing up, I had a faulty mindset. I felt that when I hear sermons that rebuke me, that means God is mad at me and probably hates me right now. Hence, I feel afraid to approach Him. I feel scared to pray because I saw God as this distant and angry figure. However, one day, all of that changed. I don't have an epic story on how my mindset changed, it just sort of happened one day. But one day I realized that God rebukes us because He loves us and wants us to stop having bad habits in our lives, like lying or procrastinating or gossiping or etc. Proverbs 3 verse 2 says, "For whom the Lord loves, He corrects, just as a father, the son in whom He delights." Getting rebuked may not feel all that pleasant, but the reason God does it is to point out areas in your lives where you're lacking, so that you can be a better person essentially. I will read a longer passage from the Bible that discusses this, from Hebrews 12 verse 5b to 11. "My son, do not regard lightly the discipline of the Lord, nor be weary when reproved by Him. For the Lord disciplines the one He loves, and chastises every son whom He receives. It is for discipline that you have to endure. God is treating you as sons. For what son is there whom his father does not discipline? If you are left without discipline, in which all have participated, then you are illegitimate children and not sons. Besides this, we have had earthly fathers who disciplined us, and we respected them. Shall we not much more be subject to the Father of spirits and live? For they disciplined us for a short time as it seemed best to them. But He disciplines us for our good, that we may share His holiness. For the moment all discipline seems painful rather than pleasant, but later it yields the peaceful fruit of righteousness to those who have been trained by it." When God rebukes us, He is treating us as His own children. Just like when a parent scolds their kid, they're doing that so that their kid stops behaving badly. A parent who does that does not do that out of hate against their child, hopefully, but out of love, in the hopes that their kid will one day grow up to be a good person. That's what God is doing. He rebukes us because He does not want us to be bad people or continue to be bad people. Verse 11 said that discipline, although it may seem painful at that instant, yields the peaceful fruit of righteousness to those who have been trained by it. So now, when I go to church and listen to a sermon that is rebukeful, and especially if that sermon happens to discuss a bad habit that I have, I feel grateful, because that means that God sees me as His own child. God is leading me to the right path. He does not want me to stray away. God does not need me to be in the right path. He can easily just let me go. But He doesn't, because He loves me very much and He loves you too. And I believe that wraps up the video. Thank you for watching, and may God's peace be with you.